Welcome back to the Cossy Arsenal channel. My name is Cossy. Welcome back to a brand new video. This is bad news. Gabriel Magalhaes is injured. He picked up an injury while playing for Brazil and he was taken off with a thigh injury. It has been confirmed that he won't even be playing for Brazil in their last game of this international break versus Tunisia. He will be assessed. He will be back at Arsenal and we are going to be looking at the extent of the damage, but it doesn't look good. Gabriel Magalhaes could be out for an extended period of time. Now, this is the worst news you could ever want to hear as an Arsenal fan. Obviously, there is that irreplaceable Declan Rice. And apart from Declan Rice in this Arsenal team, I think I've been comfortable in my head saying, if anyone picks up an injury, we do have good cover. Piero Hincapie could step in for Gabriel Magalhaes, and Christian Mosquera could step in for William Saliba or someone like Timber or someone like Benjamin White. But when you think about the importance of Gabriel, when you think about the significance of this guy, like he plays like a captain, he's a leader, he's one of the longest serving members of this team, he scores goals, defends very well, he's aggressive, he is the best partner to William Saliba. Arsenal are in a very big predicament and I don't know how we get out of it. Hit the like button, subscribe to the channel as well. I want you to let me know in the comment box below, how important do you value Gabriel Magalhaes to this Arsenal team? That is number one. And number two, how do we replace him? Obviously, anyone is going to say Piero Hincapie, but is he the best option? We've got Ricardo Calafiori, who can also play at centre-back. What is the best solution going forward? What do we do with Gabriel out? And what is the damage that you think Arsenal is going to suffer? Do you think that it's going to be the way Saliba picked up that injury in the 2022-23 campaign and then Arsenal just fell off a cliff? Or do you think Arsenal can go through that period where you don't have Gabriel Magalhaes, but you have very many fixtures coming up in December? Now, the first thing I want to say is we don't know the extent of the injury. We don't know for how long he's going to be out for, but I am praying it is 1 week or two. Thigh injuries can be a little bit difficult. They're not groin injuries and they're not ACL injuries. So he didn't pull his hamstring. It is not an acute cruciate ligament injury, and it is not a groin injury. It is a thigh injury. So if it is just a normal thigh injury, maybe 2 weeks, maybe 3 weeks. Listen, I can't give you an estimate at the time, but I'm just going with information that I have, and I'm just going with predictions online. If it's a thigh injury and it's normal, maybe 2 to 3 weeks. If it's a groin injury, if it's a hamstring injury, don't even pray. If it's an ACL injury, the season could be over. But it's not an ACL injury, because when you look at the image of him being taken off, and I think Mikel Arteta will be very, very happy with this, he's not holding the back of his leg. He's actually holding the front of his leg. That is not an ACL. ACLs are always at the back of the knee. So it's not an ACL, thank goodness. And I pray it's not a hamstring injury as well. So, if the extent of the injury is not that big, I think Arsenal can go through Tottenham, right? We can go through that Tottenham game. We can go through that Bayern game. We can go through that Chelsea game without Gabriel Magalhaes. Of course, mentally and psychologically, it does something to the team. This is your best player. This is your best defender. This is a guy that is scoring goals for you. This is a guy that is aggressive. The qualities of Gabi are not easily replaced in this Arsenal team. You just can't replace him, especially in set pieces, especially on the offensive side. You just can't replace him. But if it's just 2 to 3 weeks, I think we can go through the games that we have in that period and we shall be all right. The problem is having Gabriel Magalhaes injured across a longer period of time. That is where my problem is gonna be. So, how important is Gabi and why am I scared? Let's talk about defensively, right? Last season, Gabriel was Arsenal's best defender. And I'm not kidding. I'm not joking. I'm talking about a season where Timber played one of his best football. Uh, I'm talking about a campaign where we had William Saliba on the pitch for a very long period of time. I'm talking about a campaign where Lewis Kelly was impassable. And I'm still saying that Gabriel Magalhaes was Arsenal's best defender by far. So even this campaign, I think Calafiori has lift off. I think Timber is just an immovable object. I think Saliba has come back to the levels at which we want him at. And the reason as to why Arsenal are conceding very few goals, it is that defense. It is that backline. Magalhaes, Saliba, Calafiori, and Timber. They're solid, they're formidable, they're intelligent, they're quick, they're fast, they work as a team. So taking the most important pillar away means that you're taking away Arsenal's superpower. Because our superpower has been defending football. We won against Fulham at the Craven Cottage 1-0. It was the defense. Against Crystal Palace 1-0. It was the defense. Burnley, in the second half, played much better football than we did in the second half of that game. And it could have been 2-2, but it was our defense still. And then against Sunderland were really relentless in that game. They could have won it. But again, the defense stood strong. And there's so many other games where I can point to our defense being the difference maker. So, if our superpower until now has been defending, and you have taken the captain of the superpower team, well, we have been exposed, right? We are in trouble. And I'm not over exaggerating this. Gabriel is really important to this Arsenal team. However, I want to say this, right? Before we get into what do we do. Mikel Arteta, as you lose Gabriel to injury, you're having Madueke, Odegaard, Martinelli, and Gyökeres returning, and Gabriel Jesus, right? That means that we can effortlessly turn our superpower into attack. Yes, Arsenal's superpower is defense, but maybe we turn our superpower into the attack. We have so many attackers, very good attackers, very, very good attackers, right? So maybe if your defense is becoming weaker, maybe you compensate that with attacking more, with scoring more goals. I mean, that is why we splashed about 70 million on Gyökeres and about 60 million on Eze. That's why we did that. And an extra 50 million on Madueke. So this could be a blessing in disguise that Mikel Arteta looks at his team and he says, okay, defensively, we are having a loophole. So how about we turn our superpower into attack? And for me, it would be a very beautiful thing. It would be a very beautiful thing. Arsenal have got the ability to attack games the way Manchester City do, the way Liverpool do, the way which are some of the best attacking teams in the Premier League and Europe. The way Bayern do, the way PSG do, the way Barcelona do, the way Madrid do. We've got that ability. Let's try to attack games because, again, can you defend that well without Gabi? Maybe not. Now, what do Arsenal do really with Gabi injured? Well, the first instinct that will come to Mikel Arteta is replacing him like for like. And that introduces Piero Hincapie to the Arsenal starting 11. I love Hincapie. I really, really do. And I don't want to underestimate him, but I also don't want to overestimate him. Get what I mean? What I mean is this. Piero Hincapie is one of the very exciting talents that Arsenal have added this summer. He's tall, he's athletic, he is a bully. Like, you cannot bully him, right? And he seems to have fit into the Premier League very well. He seems to have fit into this Arsenal team very, very well. It is now that I can say it, it was such a smart decision to add Piero Hincapie to the team. So maybe Hincapie comes into this team alongside alongside Saliba, and things work out. And Hincapie plays better than Gabriel, and has even become, even better as a side, and we don't miss Gabriel. That is possible. The other alternative is playing Riccardo Calafiori at centre back. Now, I don't know what you think about this. I really, really don't. And I'm not saying this I'm not playing devil's advocate. Because Piero Hincapie can play at left back, and you also have Miles Lewis-Skelly at left back. So you could play Riccardo Calafiori at centre back, and then you could play Skelly at left back. Or you could play Piero Hincapie at centre back, and then Skelly or Calafiori at left back. It doesn't matter as long as we pick up the 3 points. If you ask me what is the best option, I think I would play Hincapie closer to Saliba. Now, Saliba is a very stable defender, very stable. And I'm so happy that we've got him. Because if you lose Gabriel, then, you need to have someone like Virgil van Dijk. And I think Saliba is a bit like Virgil van Dijk. Stable, predictable, reliable. Right? Those are the 3 things that you get from Van Dijk, and you can get from Saliba as well. Stability, reliability, and of course, he's very, very reliable, stable. I don't remember what the other thing I say, right? So if you have Saliba playing alongside Hincapie might not be as stable, right? And he might not be as comfortable because he's just coming into the league, but he can draw that energy from an excellent performer like William Saliba. The reason as to why I wouldn't play Calafiori in that spot, Calafiori is so unstable. He's very unstable. He's very, very unstable. If I can compare him to anything, I don't know. Maybe GameStop shares in 2019 and 2020. He's very unstable, right? It's like Donald Trump. So you need someone who's stable alongside Piero Hincapie. The thing with Hincapie, though, he's aggressive like Gabriel, and he's a good ball player like Gabriel, and his decision making ain't that bad as well. So for me, I'll play Piero Hincapie alongside Saliba. But this is what we're gonna be missing with Gabriel out. 1, aerial threats are going to become prevalent. I'm telling you, Gabriel is one of the players that are in that Arsenal backline, and whether it's Coyote, whether it's I don't care who is throwing the ball, or Henderson, any area threat will be neutralized when Arsenal have Gabriel. Simple as that. Any area threat, I'm not concerned when Gabriel is in that backline. So I think Arsenal will be missing that confidence that we've got a guy that can, deal with headers and area threats effortlessly. That's number 1. Number 2, when you go on the other offensive part of the team, Arsenal always score a set piece. But how often do we score a set piece that does not have Gabriel Magalhaes' involvement? That is a question. Yes, we will always score a set piece. That's okay. But how often do Arsenal score set pieces where Gabriel is not involved? Mikel Arteta and his team are going to have to ask themselves that question and answer it quickly and immediately. What do you do as a team that is so good at set pieces? What do you do when your biggest threat is out? Do you change strategy? Again, this could be a blessing in disguise. Maybe Arsenal find a way of scoring goals reliably that is non-set pieces. Now, set pieces are a stable way of scoring goals. But for me, if you want to win the league, I want to see more goals out of other areas. Not just set pieces, not just corners and free kicks, right? So, Arsenal will be missing that area threat in the opposition penalty area, but also we shall be missing that antidote on our own end when the opposition swings the ball into the penalty area. Obviously, he's been playing as a captain. He's got that leadership. He knows the know-how and where of this Arsenal team. He has it, right? He's been here since 2020. That is what Arsenal are losing in Gabriel Magalhaes. But we should be okay. That is why we spent 100 million on defensive duties last summer. Was it 100? More than 100 maybe, right? But that's why we spent more than 100 million on defensive duties. Hincapie will cost you about 50. You have Zubimendi coming in as well. Defensive midfielder. You have Kepa. You have Nogard. We should be able to be okay defensively because we've invested a lot of money in that area.